pretty tough act to follow. I'll go with a little more lighthearted speech. So, I have the worst time management. If I'm given 3 weeks to do a project, there's a very high chance that I'll be starting and finishing it in the last 3 days or 3 hours. It doesn't matter what it is, history paper, English paper, computer science program, even my Common App essay, which was turned in on the last possible day. Now, I know some of you might not be able to relate to this at all. If staying up until 5 a.m. working on a speech the day it's due when you've had a week to do it is ridiculous to you, then maybe you don't need to change anything about how you work. But I can assure you there's still something you can do, which I'll get to later. Procrastination isn't something you do on purpose. No one sits down at their desk in the afternoon and says, okay, I have so much work, why don't I wait until 10 p.m. to start all of it and then finish around 2 a.m. When you procrastinate, the time just disappears in front of you. You get home at 6 p.m. and say, I'm just going to relax for 30 minutes and then I'll start my homework at 6:30. Suddenly it's 6:35 and you say, oh, I've had a long day. What if I spend another few minutes relaxing? What if I start my work at 7? It never stops at 7. People who procrastinate are often rather optimistic about being able to get work done in a timely fashion. They think they have all the time in the world. That is, until they hit some arbitrary time when they realize they screwed up. For me, at around 8 p.m., the switch will flip. That's when I'll freak out and realize how little time I actually have left to do my work. 3 things happen when I procrastinate. My amount of sleep goes down, the quality of my work suffers, and I get stressed out. People, especially our age, disregard the importance of sleep. Getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep on a regular basis is important to function properly. According to a study published in the renowned medical journal Occupational and Environmental Medicine, a person who's been awake for over 17 to 19 hours will have functional performance similar to someone with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.1. That's well past the legal limit to drugs. That means if you pull an all-nighter during work, you'll function the next day the same way as someone who chugged 4 beers on the way to school. The second person sounds like an idiot who'd be completely unfit to go to school, but in reality, they'd be just as competent as the person who procrastinated and didn't sleep. Even if you do get a few hours of sleep, there's no denying that you'll be tired later. I remember one day back in 8th grade when I stayed up very late into the night. After going to bed, I had a lovely dream of going to school the next day and watching a documentary in history class. Imagine my surprise when I woke up, surrounded by all of my friends and classmates laughing at me. The documentary was over, and it was not a dream. Beyond all the problems with not getting enough sleep, the stressing effect of procrastination cannot be stressed enough. Realizing you have just a few hours to finish a paper you had weeks to do sucks, especially when you also realize that you have other homework to do in those few hours. The night before simple harmonic motion was due in sophomore year, it occurred to me that I had about 8 hours to do almost all the analysis for a month-long physics project. I still get nightmares of that. If you can avoid procrastinating, it'll keep you that much happier. A couple years ago, Henry Marshall told me he'd just get all his work done early and sleep 9 hours every night. He's a sailing world champion and one of the happiest people I know. If you still aren't convinced that avoiding procrastination makes you happier, just look at Andrew KP. He's a bastion of productivity, and at the same time, he's also extremely friendly and happy. Wouldn't it be great to be like that? Next time you start aimlessly wasting time, just do a simple cost-benefit analysis. Is spending an hour watching pandas go down slides or reading DJ Khaled's biography on Wikipedia worth more than finishing an English essay or getting another hour of sleep? Probably not. I know that I would have been far happier doing the car ride to school this morning if I'd been asleep instead of hopped up on caffeine and finishing the speech. If you can relate to any of this, that's good. The first step to recovery is realizing you have a problem. It's not too late to stop procrastinating. Though high school is ending for us, seniors at least, 4 years of college exist after that, and many years of a career beyond. You may have been a chronic procrastinator up until this point, but don't procrastinate on fixing the problem. I urge you to start now and spend all those years you have ahead of you being happy and not doing homework every night until 2 a.m. I'm not saying that making this change is easy. Being proactive is hard to start and even harder to maintain. Earlier last year, I managed to stay on top of all my work and sleep at least 7 hours a night for an entire month. It took a conscious effort. I used browser extentensions that block social media sites after a set amount of time. I did all my homework near my mom so that she'd yell at me when I was goofing off. That 1 month stretch was incredibly stress-free and peaceful, except for when my mom was yelling at me. But then one day I disabled the browser extensions. I made the mistake of goofing off just a little too long. And this led to another day of procrastination. And the next thing I knew, I relapsed. Going back where I started, I can confirm from hazy memories that the grass is greener on the other side. This is where those of you who are organized come in. If you know a friend should be working, but you see them goofing off, just give them a friendly reminder that there's probably a better use of their time. You don't need to make a big deal out of it, because honestly, that would probably just make it worse. A simple, maybe you should do some work now, will more than suffice. This doesn't seem like much, but having the procrastination pointed out will help your friend be more aware of when they are actively wasting time. However, if you do want to go a little further, then offer to change their Facebook or Snapchat or other social media passwords for a short period of time. If you don't get work done at a healthy time, you can still make a change. Cutting down on procrastination makes a world of difference. The hours you get back from YouTube and Reddit and video games can go towards so much more. What you end up doing with all of that extra time is up to you. I want to stop procrastinating, and I know you can stop too. Thank you.